All right, I'm pretty excited for this one, folks. This is the all-new Heirloom line, brand new this year. This is one of the bigger couples coaches they have, a big rear kitchen floor plan, great mid-living. But the thing I love about the Heirloom line is it gives you the features you want and it's still at an affordable price. Let's head on in and take a look kind of at the floor plan here. So what you'll see, as I mentioned, is that mid-living area where you have this kind of J-shaped lounge across from two seats. This is what they call the Luma Lounge. It is going to be versatile. It can kind of flip to create what you have right here, or this comes over to give that a little bit larger dinette. I'll show that in a bit. Nice big pantry there. Beautiful rear kitchen. And then right behind me here is going to be your entertainment center. Big TV, and then of course up front, bathroom and bedroom. So let's kind of get into some of the things I really like, I guess, about the Heirloom as a whole, and then we'll kind of break down the floor plan. One of them is going to be the windows. What you'll notice is that on the camp side, you have really big windows here, and that is very intentional because this is the view everyone wants. Well, not with the blinds shut. We're obviously at a show setting, but you can imagine being in a campground and being able to look out and see your campsite. This is where you want those big windows in the living area and in the kitchen. Now, on the other wall, what you'll notice is the window. The shade is shut here, but if I open this up, the window is going to be a lot smaller and it's up top. Excuse me, up top. Now, they did that for a few reasons. One, a smaller window, right? A little bit less glass is less money, but the bigger point of this, or I guess the better story here, is the fact that it gives you additional privacy because more often than not, you don't want to see out here because that's your neighbor's campsite. And, you know, they kind of want their privacy too. So a lot of times you go to a campground, this is all shut. But what they did do is this window right here is still open. So you can open this up, still get the airflow, still get the natural light coming in, and not have to shut everything off because your neighbors are over there. So I actually really do like the design here on the windows. Now, as we get in, kind of like I said, to the floor plan itself, we have two recliners right here, so you can kick back, relax, have great conversation with everyone that's going to be right across the way in your Luma Lounge. Now, you may have seen something familiar like this. This is not the only brand that has kind of this versatile setup, but essentially what happens is this cushion right here removes. You can lift this up, flip it over, it drops down here, and now you have a standard dinette with a like a 3-seater sofa over to the side. So it really gives you that flexibility of adding this chase lounge here when you want it, and when you don't, you just have the additional seating. And it's a good sized table here too. Like you can see that you can very easily fit 4 people here, and honestly, 6 I don't think is gonna be a stretch. And what I like about it is if you can see right here, it's actually mounted to the wall with a single post. And this is going to be a lot more sturdy design than having the 2 pedestal legs, because then it's just mounted in the floor and the table rocks. So if I'm mounting it right there to the wall, this is going to be a lot more sturdy. Again, I love that they did that. Kind of dropping down, you will see underneath the dinette seats, you have huge storage here. This is going to be a marine grade woven flooring so that it's stain resistant, and that's going to be what you want when it's underneath the table. You know, not that you have gonna have a ton of kiddos in here, but if you do, or grandkids, and they spill something, it's nice and easy to clean up. Or heck, maybe even if you spill some red wine, nice easy cleanup, right? Underneath, again, big O storage underneath the sofa here as well. Definitely love that. And then if we kind of take a look, we kind of move back to the kitchen here, you will see all the kitchen countertop space. It's one of the great things about a rear kitchen, and as I mentioned, once again, that huge window. Storage up top is fairly abundant. I also like the two-tone, but you see that you have that going all the way across the top here as well. You even get a window in the back of the kitchen. You have the thermoformed countertops, which allows for the undermount stainless steel sink, your industrial style faucet, 3-burner cooktop. Underneath that sink, you have dual storage access. So you have one door here, another door here, kind of going to that same space. There is enough space for a trash can there if you want it, but they actually give you a dedicated spot right over here for it, which I really like. You also see the 2 drawers. They kind of have an angle. We see that in a lot of the Heirlooms. The way they kind of design the kitchen out has a lot of nice angles to it. Big pots and pans drawer in lieu of an oven. I actually kind of like that. A lot of times you don't have a lot of storage for pots and pans. So I think that was a good addition, and you get even more storage right over here. And the cool thing about it is that doesn't have to be your pantry because, well, you get a massive pantry as well. The other thing that I think is kind of neat is this right here. You get a little, it's magnetic, but you get a little drop down area for your K-cups. I'm a big coffee drinker, so I do enjoy that. Coffee maker can go right here. I personally am not like a huge fan of the stamped steel. I'm seeing a lot of manufacturers do this year. I guess let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is probably one of them that's better done than most. I do like the little saying here. I don't know if you can read it, but it says life is measured in moments. I do think that's kind of cool. It's pretty precious. But again, let me know your thoughts on that. Do you like it here? It does break it up. Like I said, it's probably better. In my opinion, it's better than a lot I've seen. I'm just not sure that I necessarily love it in a camper. I kind of wish it came like as an accessory of, hey, you can mount it here if you want. But neither here nor there. Let me know in the comments what you think. You'll see the microwave right up top here as well. I do like having a microwave up top rather than down below. I've seen so many manufacturers that try to put them underneath an oven. And here's the thing, folks. In a residential setting, that works. You can have a low microwave. Why? Well, because it's a drawer microwave. You push a button and it comes out, so then you can load it from the top. But that's not what they're putting in RVs. They're just putting in standard microwaves and they're putting them low, and they're just really hard to get to, and it's just not very functional. So if you're gonna put in a microwave, put it up top. Then we come over to the slide here. The fridge is going to be kind of tucked away in that same super slide as our Luma Lounge. So I guess I'll kind of open that up for you just to kind of show you that is nice and big. You get plenty of storage space there. Great space for all of our bevs. Taking a look up at the ceiling, you will see that this one has a ducted AC. They use an AC system in here, so you essentially have two runs, right, that are connected in the middle to make a big H in your ceiling. You do have closable ducts as well, as you would expect. So if you're going to bed at night, you can close all these out here and it will pump, a bunch more cool air up front, which is really nice. I do like the entertainment center. I think they did a good job. Kind of have like that accent wall behind the TV there. Nice fireplace. A little bit of storage there underneath too. Not just for baskets, which you can put directly underneath, but there's actually a little bit of storage under. Personally, I'm probably putting shoes under there. I know it's not the best looking thing in the world, but it is kind of a somewhat practical place for them, which I like. Coming around over to the side, nice simple control panel. Man, everyone's trying to go like more high tech. I personally like just having physical buttons. It's easy. It's less chances for failure in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts. Do you just like having the old toggle switches, or do you like having a system you can Bluetooth to, do a little bit more? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. But like I said, I kind of like the basics here. You also see it is pre-wired for solar, so if you want solar, that's going to be easy to add. And then we have our thermostat right in here. All right, now coming into the bathroom, you'll notice a few things. The first one being the fact that you have a slider door on here, nice and easy to get in and out. Another one is going to be the shower itself. Now, if I stand up in here, folks, I'm 6 foot tall. You can see I have plenty of head height. In this skylight, I could probably be 6'3" and not have to bend down. But even without it, I mean, I could be probably 6'1" and still be able to stand up in here fully, which is pretty great, for a travel trailer. Kind of shooting across the way, I do want to point out the tankless water heater here as well. Folks, not all tankless water heaters are built the same. Within Suburban, which is what this one has, you have two different levels. You have a 42,000 BTU and a 60,000 BTU. And even though this is a budget-friendly unit, they still put in the 60,000 because they know it works so much better. Right down underneath is going to be your foot flush lever toilet. And then right across the way, sorry for the spin there, but this is going to be your vanity. You can see you have some storage there underneath, a little bit of space for shoes as well if you want, electrical outlet, mirror, hi myself. Then over to the side is going to be the linen closet. Now as we come around to the bedroom, one of the other things I really like the Heirloom did is this right here. This is a residential size 60 by 80 queen size mattress, right? So it's not going to be a camper queen. It is a true 60 by 80 residential size queen. The reason for that is if you want to swap it out, you can. And they know that, and they built it intentionally. So what you'll notice is that over to this side, the shelves don't really overlap the mattress, and they are a little bit higher. So if you get a thicker mattress, you're not going to, the shelves aren't going to be in the way. Same thing with this shelf right up top here. They raise that up so that if you get a thicker mattress, you're not going to sit up and hit your head on the shelf there. And I think that was just smart design, knowing what the customer wants, knowing that, you may take your mattress from home or, an extra mattress you have and put it in your RV because, hey, mattresses aren't cheap. It's not the first thing you want to buy when you get an RV, right? And then kind of over to the side here is going to be some additional wardrobe space. Love that. We saw the shelves. There's an electrical outlet there. Another shelf Right over to the side, same thing. I don't know if you can see it, but there is an electrical outlet down there as well. Oh, underneath the bed, I should probably point this out. There we go, give that a lift. So you can see you have good storage. So you have storage or access to the pass-through right here. You also have all these bins, which I like. And then underneath, you get additional shoe storage. So if you have slippers like I do that you take camping, you have a spot to store those. And then the last thing I want to point out, and this is a big one, folks, is right here in the bedroom. Yes, this does have washer dryer prep. Never mind all that. That's all blankets and stuff, because right at show, it's going to, be put on the unit and make it look pretty. But the fact that you have this full floor to ceiling wardrobe in here with optional washer dryer is pretty great, because honestly, most people don't actually use washer dryer, but having the option is fantastic. And if you don't use it, again, you still get all that storage. All right, let's talk a little bit about the outside of the Heirloom 270. First off, I really like the front end on here. I really like the blue that they chose. And of course, this is going to be a smooth aluminum, so it'll be a lot easier to clean than like when you have your ribbed on here. Plus, it just looks a whole heck of a lot nicer. It also has the rot guard down underneath. Battery disconnect is going to be located right there, so you can just turn that off when the coach is not in use. Two 20-pound propane tanks with the cover and a power tongue jack there. So it's nice and easy to basically set up, right? You can set up a whole lot quicker. Now, as we take a look inside here, we have a couple brooms because a few of these units still need to be swept out, but just kind of goes to show you, right, I guess, frame of reference, the size here. It is a nice big pass-through, and as you saw, you do have a couple different access points. Stabilizer jacks on all four corners, as you would expect. It is going to be an upgraded aluminum exterior. I really do like this. It feels a lot nicer. It's going to be more dent resistant. It's a little bit thicker than what your standard ribbed aluminum is. And of course, they hang this from the top to bottom. So that way, if you accidentally do bump something or damage something down here, because this is the last ones they replace, they can just pop those off. Makes it real nice and easy to replace those metal panels on the bottom, which is generally where the damage is going to be. To get inside, you can see you have your more ride step above steps. There's 3 steps there to climb up into the coach. You have the extendable grab handle on there. Then the awning is going to cover this, basically the whole back section. You can see the LED light on there as well. Those 2 big windows I talked about when we were inside. Love to see that. There is an electrical outlet here as well. So if you need to plug anything in, you have the capability to do that. And I like even what they did with like the skirting here with like the fender. Normally that's just gonna be black, but they actually painted it to match the bottom of the coach, and I think it looks really sharp. Also right outside here, always a big fan of this. Whoop, if I can open it, there we go. Oh yeah, outside bevy fridge. Whether it's a couples coach or a family coach, I'm a big fan of that. Definitely will get some use. You can see your fresh water fill is going to be right next to that. Coming around to the side is that tankless water heater, and as I mentioned, that is a 60,000 BTU unit. Your black tank flush and city water and cable satellite will be right back here, as well as your spare tire. Yes, you do have a bumper on here as well. It's where the spare is mounted. This one has the 50 amp. I believe this one had 1 AC inside, but it is prepped for a second if you want to install the second AC. Right up top there is going to be prep for your camera, so you can buy the telescoping camera so you can climb up onto the roof. That one is going to be a Lippert product. Then you also have the backup camera prep there as well, just to give you a little bit additional visibility as you're backing up. Something else I want to point out that I really like is you can see it right here on the slide. This one does have slide topper prep as well. So if you want to get that slide topper just to help protect the top of that slide from sticks, acorns, everything else that may fall, right? So you don't have to get up there and constantly brush it off. Basically, when you push that slide in, most of that will just roll right off. You can go ahead and have that installed nice and easily. As I mentioned, folks, Heirloom is a brand new line, and I really like what they're doing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think they could be doing better? What do you think they're doing really well? Are you interested? If you are and you want price and availability, I will have that link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker. Until next time, we'll see you.